CEI was founded in March of 1984 in Washington, D.C. Actually, it was founded in our apartment. Fred's idea was that the plethora of regulations impeded entrepreneurial spirit, impeded people from being able to succeed. It put roadblocks in their way to economic freedom.
What we've done is we've tried to put all our eggs in one basket. We've tried to hire a group of bright people and let them make all the decisions for us, a kind of a nanny regulator state. What we need to do is to move to a system of property rights and liability that make all Americans environmentalists, that bring everyone into the picture and make us each act to protect the quality of the environment.
Why does it follow that if the government...
There weren't any groups doing litigation at the time, combining policy litigation with activism. So Fred saw a way to pursue the goal of economic freedom by putting these parts together.
Fred had this notion of what he called issue management. The dream was that a single person would be able to take an idea from the analytical stage, from what had to be done in terms of writing monographs, getting op-eds placed and so forth, to then turn it into a workable political idea and at the same time to push on it in the courts as well. That was a sort of a full service approach to building ideas.
Fred and Fran created a happy warrior culture, and that's what I feel like people at CEI are. They're both a lot of fun. You know, they would always say, well, we gave our kids away, they were too noisy, and so we just focused on public policy.
The CEI has always been a home to policy entrepreneurs. If you can find a niche that will attract support and attract attention from the media, and you can make that your own, we'll let you run with it. CEI is a libertarian organization run on libertarian principles. We practice what we preach. This results in what is essentially an emergent order of free thinkers with a strong appreciation of things like the knowledge problem and a fair amount of creative destruction. But we have a lot of fun in the process.
We've got to be forward-looking. We've got to look at the future. We've got to look toward areas where government hasn't thought to invade yet. That led me to launch our project on emerging transportation technology.
I think our defensive work against the tide of environmental alarmism over the past 20 years has been particularly successful.
Located in a nondescript office in Washington, D.C., the Competitive Enterprise Institute and its Director of Energy may have just helped change the political and environmental direction of an entire nation.
And it's been a big win now for you, correct? I mean, this is kind of a coup for your group.
It's a small organization. We have been very persistent.
I started off doing environmental and energy policy, then I moved on to consumer finance. Currently, I'm fighting a battle on antitrust and on trade issues.
My area is chemical regulation, but I've also been able to delve into areas of my own personal interest, which was wine regulation.
I think a regulatory program known as CAFE, Corporate Average Fuel Economy Standards, is one very good example. We had a federal government running a program that literally was killing people. It took several court cases, but we won a very strong victory.
What interested me most was regulatory policy, and that's sort of where CEI fit in. I always felt that if you were missing the regulatory state, you're missing the biggest part of what the federal government is doing in society.
You know, CEI is an incredible organization for its size. It punches above its weight. If you were to follow every regulation, you couldn't get out of bed in the morning. You couldn't. It'd be impossible. And this is the reason why we need CEI, to keep those regulations under control so that the majority of people of this country can prosper and continue to prosper into the future and be that shining beacon for the rest of the world.
We try to get things moving in Washington. We don't believe you can really sway people with just facts. At the end of the day, people are really concerned about values.
The through line for CEI is a willingness to play in the here and now, to fight for reforms today, and keep an eye on the long-term vision. We're willing to get down in the trenches and work on those issues right now.
I know Fred is proud with the progress that we've made. I think he is always ambitious and would like to see us moving further along, maybe being bigger, so that we can really expand, what we're doing. But I think it's a lot of what he desired.
CEI's history is punctuated with dramatic successes. I'm excited to accelerate the frequency of those big changes. Our vision is to remove as much power and regulatory decision-making as possible from bureaucrats and politicians, and to entrust that authority with families, communities, and free enterprise. We know who we are, why we're here, and there's a recipe for the work that we've been doing. Every morning, I wake up excited about work. And part of the reason is people at CEI are not afraid to win and win on principle. There is something lost when you transfer your attention from a cause to a profession. And around here, we work for a cause. And that's pretty damn good.